So did you set your alarm for like dark 30 this morning?
No, I did not wake up that early. I woke up at 8 o'clock normal time for watching soccer. Still got it on the background, obviously. Did not wake up for the drama that clearly unfolded this morning.
Yeah, no, it's Bart Keeler hanging out with us here for SoccerForUS pod. So for those that missed it, the preview of SoccerForUS for the competition going on with the host nation that I'm really not going to mention by name. Did it blend in with the match preview that you had in the episode? How close was your analysis to what actually went down?
I think actually I was a little surprised at how, especially that first half, everything played out because we thought it would, right? We thought, oh yeah, Wales is going to sit back a little bit and let us come at them. I was a little surprised that Wales was as committed to that in the first half as they were. And then obviously they, in the second half, decided to be a little bit more adventurous, put us under a lot more defensive pressure, and ended up that's why they got their goal. But no, it was surprising how well that match played out compared to how we had kind of predicted it, especially in that first half.
Jarrett Smith joining us. Good morning, Jarrett.
Good morning.
And we are in analysis of yesterday's match in the afternoon involving the United States. Now that you've had a good 12 hours at least to analyze it in your brain, what's your 30,000-foot takeaway?
Disappointing, but it's the same thing I have in all aspects of sport, in that we have to draw this line where we balance criticism with also getting credit, because Wales, whatever they did in the first half didn't work. They give up a goal to the United States. They probably should have given up two. Could have given up more. That game could have been over at halftime if the United States is more efficient at what they do. They made a change in their game plan, and USA didn't adjust and didn't keep up the pressure and basically didn't counterpunch. And then even despite all that, you are Walker Zimmerman going through Gareth Bale away from still escaping with a 1-0 win. And I think a good lesson out of all of that, if that happens, like, you take away the lesson of, okay, we gotta tighten up a bit. But at the end of the day, you still just one goal you gave up because you're the center back who was supposed to be the Rock, while Tim Marine put on a hell of a performance. The guy who was supposed to be the Rock went through Gareth Bale in a terrible moment because Gareth Bale's not facing goal. We talk about this all the time with like young defenders. We talked about it with Atlanta because we ran into it with Atlanta sometimes with some of the younger guys on the field. When the attacker is facing away from the goal, you don't have to go through him like this. Body him up. Don't go stabbing at the ball between his legs. Don't be so reckless in that moment. It's not like he's bringing it down facing goal inside the 6-yard box. It's just outside the 6. He's facing away from goal. Like, if you want to talk about a good foul in that game, it's Kellen Acosta picked up the most important yellow card of his life.
Yes.
Because he kept Gareth Bale from pulling a Zlatan on the United States. Now, you want to see what people really pissed off? Imagine if that had come off. Good job, Kellen Acosta. But, yeah, I mean, for me, it was disappointing because it's weird to have this conversation because I don't ever want to take anything away from what Wales is capable of.
No. But I think that you can do.
You were good enough to get out of there with 3 points. They made changes you didn't.
I think we should have. I think so. Jared, I want to address something that's going on in the comments. I want to address something that's going on social media. Yes, Walker Zimmerman made a bad mistake at a bad time. 100% correct. Walker Zimmerman was very good the rest of the game. Tim Marine was very good the rest of the game. I don't think he, watching the replays and watching it last night, I don't necessarily think he was making a challenge on Gareth Bale. I think he was trying to step into the ball to try to win it before another Wales player did. I don't think it was, let me challenge Gareth Bale. He just got beat to the spot. Gareth Bale got there, had his back turned, and drew a foul because Gareth Bale is, shockingly to no one, better than any player we have on our team. Let's just be real honest about that. So yes, Walker Zimmerman, quote, the best defender in MLS, made a mistake because all defenders make mistakes, right? He got beat to the spot by one of the best players of this generation. Flat out, that is a fact. However, if you want to put blame on why we did not get the win, look at Greg Berhalter and his inability to adjust to to two things. One thing I'll blame Greg Berhalter for very distinctly, and I'm sorry my voice is still a little shot from yesterday. I can't imagine why.
I know, right?
One thing I'll blame him for very distinctly, Weston McKennie should not have started the second half. He should not have come out of the half time break and started playing. We should have put Brendan Aronson in. It was very clear from like minute 50 on that Weston was just struggling. You could tell. That was a mistake by Berhalter. He should have probably either made that change at half or made that change a lot sooner than it did, because it didn't come until minute 64. And Brendan Aronson should have been in that match a lot earlier. And then he never made any real tactical adjustments to how we were going to deal with Wales, being a little bit more direct, being a little more adventurous in the attack. They were definitely trying to push a little bit more numbers forward. So yes, Walker Zimmerman made a mistake. 100% he should not have made that mistake. But why were we in that position consistently under pressure when Berhalter refused to make any real changes? And the ones he did, I'm sorry, DeAndre Yedlin, not a defensive like stalwart, like that was a weird sub to me. And I know that he's got the World Cup experience is fine, but like I don't think of DeAndre Yedlin as a guy who's going to lock down your defense for you, And I think Greg deserved a lot of questions for why Gio Reyna didn't play and Jordan Morris did. And I think that his reasoning about physicality or whatever is quite honestly bullcrap, because you needed a goal. And you know who's going to get you a goal? Gio Reyna. He does that consistently week in and week out for Dortmund. And I think Greg Berhalter deserves a lot more criticism than Walker Zimmerman for one bad moment.
No, I don't disagree. And it's confusing to me because the Gio Reyna thing, there were so many narratives going along afterward of, was he hurt? Because, Greg said, I think it said it was a hamstring that he tweaked.
Yeah.
Like, if that's the case and he's not 100% and you want to save him for England, man, just say that. Like,
right.
Don't beat around the bush in this cryptic. Don't be a college football coach out here like trying to speak in Da Vinci Code about stuff. Like, hey, he tweaked his hamstring and I want to save him for England.
Yeah, a little bit of muscle tightness that we were guarding against. That was what.
Yeah, and said. If you want to say, hey, his muscles were tight and we were saving him for England because I think he's going to be an important player for that game, then say that. People might disagree with it, but you don't have to be. This doesn't have to be the Da Vinci Code. You don't have to be the Zodiac killer about framing this. You don't. And yes, he deserves plenty of criticism for the way all of that unfolded, about not properly adjusting. Man, I don't know. I'm with you. Like I don't mean to bag on.
I'm not saying you were specifically, but there were multiple people in this comment section bagging on Walker Zimmerman and then bragging on MLS because of Walker Zimmerman. There are plenty of great defenders who make that same mistake.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's because I don't mean to bag on Walker. He had a good game overall.
But Soccer America gave him a 2. Soccer America on a 1.
I mean, look, if you want to give him a 2 for that mistake, sure. If that's your only reason, I think that's still ludicrous.
Let's also look at the fact that are we gonna ding the attack for not doing more to give you more than a 1-goal lead after because I shared the heat. Oh, what's up?
One shot.
Yeah, one shot.
One shot on target.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I will also, and I know we don't count it as on target. I'll count Josh Sargent hitting the post.
Right, that's fine.
That's good. Like that was a good moment. Weah's early, or Dest, whoever put that early cross in that almost resulted in the own goal was hilarious, and it was a great ball. Like you had 3 really good moments that come to mind, and you need more than that. Yeah. You do. You need more than that. I have plenty of criticism for the attack. Credit to Christian Pulisic for getting his ass kicked and playing really well. Credit to Timothy Weah for being that we talked about it before this, I think, Bart, that Timothy Weah was going to be an X factor, and dude, he went until he couldn't go anymore.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, he put in a heroic performance. I mean, obviously getting the goal, getting a shout out from Pele online, that's awesome. But yeah, it was he put in such a fantastic, and he was good the whole game. The whole game, he was really good.
Yeah,
So,
the discussion about Pulisic fading. Yeah, I think he was also just getting physically
after
beat up.
he's getting kicked every 15 seconds.
Yeah. Like,
I do think a fair criticism would be our set piece service was terrible, and
it was awful.
He was taking set pieces, Christian Pulisic, even after Brendan Aronson came into the game, who takes corner kicks for Leeds weekly. You know, that was something that I expected to change, and Pulisic was still taking set pieces, and that was. I'm not gonna again. If you want to talk about why weren't we able to maximize our advantage in both the first half and in the second half, because we still had a lot of possession in the second half. We never capitalized on any set piece. We had more corner kicks than they did. You know, those are opportunities to press that advantage more, and we never did. And I guess the other thing would be, okay, well, this is a Greg issue, is that why are we why then is it always, oh, let's kick it right into the mixer? Why can't you have, you know, Christian and Anthony, or Christian and someone else do a short corner and try to work possession from there? You know, there's so many ways to circumvent a Christian Pulisic having a bad day taking corner kicks, and we just did not adjust.
To that point, though, half of the damn fan base is in this league. Looking at you, Philadelphia. Looking at you, Red Bulls. Y'all, they thrive off the put it in the mixer thing. Like, they have some set piece plays, but I mean, plenty of teams have decided
these plays don't work when you can't put the ball in the box.
I know. Look, one of my biggest pet peeves in this sport is a set piece that cannot clear the first man. Like, if you have something set up, like if you have the classic Julie Ertz near post, you know, basically ghost run, where she can just turn it, that's one thing. But you're trying to actually put one in the mixer or to the back post, and you can't clear the first man. That is one of my biggest pet peeves in this sport.
Yep. And that was the thing that we're gonna have to figure out, because you can't waste those opportunities against England, when I think it's very fair that yes, England is susceptible to giving up chances, because obviously Iran, even outside of their 2 goals, still created a couple of good chances. But you can't waste corner kicks like that, or any other set piece, to just, you know.
And Rock brings it up. We have Acosta subbed on too. I know that Acosta has kind of become a meme for people in the national team picture in some aspects. Kellen Acosta can hit a dead ball pretty damn well. That's another guy who you want to put somebody on a dead ball. Kellen Acosta is really pretty high up on my list of guys I want to put on a dead ball.
And and since we're in the Pulisic discussion, Rack wants to know why no one else takes set pieces in the second half when it's clear Pulisic is in Strugglesville. That's another $15,000 question.
This is again where Greg Berhalter does not deviate from plan A. His plan B is do plan A better. And that's been a criticism of Greg for eternity, even when he was a club coach, you know, and that's just how he is.
Let's get into what Sean brings to the table this morning. Tyler Adams was our best player. I'll take this in 2 sentences. Tyler Adams was our best player. His second sentence was, that's not a good sign. But Tyler Adams yesterday, Bart, what do you think?
Oh, bull crap. 1. Sorry. Tyler Adams was your best player because he's a fantastic soccer player. And honestly, in a game like that, you need your defensive midfielder to be your best player to clean up all the crap that Wales is throwing at you.
Because of the way Wales is playing. Wales, I shared the heat map yesterday of the first half. I'm sorry, the touch map of the first half.
Yeah.
Wales had 4 touches in the final third. One of those was a corner in the first half. Yep. To Bart's point, and I agree completely, year 6, whatever you want to call him positionally, that dude has to be on his game, because for most of that game, Wales isn't going to dominate possession. they're going to be waiting for you. This is the whole thing with the idea of just shoot more from distance, just force that pass in. When Wales packs it in, go back and look at the space between the lines for Wales, because there wasn't any between the midfield and their back line, the way they played. Yeah, there was nothing there. It goes back to, let's talk about a boogeyman for a minute, because there's a lot of y'all in Atlanta that ain't gonna listen to this. Let's talk about what Frank DeBoer said in the past about the concept of in possession. You want things to end with the ball either going out of play in the back of the net or with a foul. You don't want those live ball turnovers, because that's what Wales feasted on. And I know it frustrates people when the U.S. does if you look at the passing map where it's a lot of back and forth, they're swinging the ball around trying to find holes. Wales is begging you to try and force that ball into a half space where they can force a turnover, and Gareth Bale gets released to a race, and then you have Gareth Bale racing Walker Zimmerman.
Mm-hmm.
It's tough, because you do want to be able to take those opportunities and you want to be aggressive in them, but you also have to balance it with the fact that if you try and force something and get sloppy, Wales is going to hit you going the other way. Ask Ukraine how that works. It can get really weird really fast, and it's really frustrating to play against, and you can't just launch from 40 yards every time.
And sitting here staring at the numbers once again, let me go through the numbers brought to us by Soccer America. And like I said, I mentioned Walker Zimmerman got a 2, which I don't think I've ever seen before in their ratings. Matt Turner challenged occasionally, got a 5. Dest and Anthony Robinson got 5s. Tim Ream got a 6. Walker Zimmerman got the 2. So here's how Soccer America phrased it. Walker Zimmerman, once hailed for bringing experience to a young squad, ruined the night for the USA by fouling with a tackle that was not only unnecessary — Gareth Bale had his back to goal — but clumsy and reckless. Perhaps Qatari referee Abdulrahman Al Jassim was too occupied calling the penalty kick he forgot to caution Zimmerman, leaving 2 U.S. backline starters not carrying yellow cards.
Well, first off, that's not a yellow card foul in the penalty area. It wasn't dog-so or anything. No. It was just a foul in the penalty area. So Soccer America gets 0 credit for any of that rating for that alone. Grossly misunderstanding the loss of the game.
Yeah.
So
midfield, Weston McKennie a 4. Tyler Adams got a 6. Considering what we saw from Tyler Adams, I would say that's
6.
Higher.
You got a 6. Yeah. So Soccer America, y'all need to. I don't know.
Drunk.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yunus Musa got a.
No,
5.
they're not drunk, Jarrett. That's the problem.
It might be.
God, that's right.
Yeah.
You know what? That probably would have been more enjoyable for everyone in the stadium if they weren't drunk.
Oof. Well, but it would have had to have been on Bud.
We had beer at Fido yesterday. That's all I'm saying.
There you go. Musa a 5, Sargent a 5, Weah a 7, Pulisic a 6. All the subs got a 4 except for Jordan Morris, who was only in for 10 minutes and got the incomplete. You got the NR, no rating. So
Jordan Morris scoring the game-winning goal there would have put so much of this fan base in hell, and I was begging for it to happen.
That would have been nice.
It would have been basically 60% of the U.S. fan base would have just been the Larry David gif of.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know what would have happened? We were in our Discord chat discussing it. It would have been a ball coming into him. It hits his foot, bounces straight up, goes off of his nose, breaks his nose, then ricochets off the post, and then off of his knee as he's laying on the ground to go in. It'd have been the dumbest, most cartoonish goal you've ever seen, and that would have been how Jordan Morris won the game.
Yes.
Well, it wouldn't have come off a corner kick, so we know that much.
Yeah. Niall, you'll get punished by England if you don't take chances. I'm absolutely terrified about Friday.
Nothing about Friday changes. I think that's something that people were like, oh my God, we didn't beat Wales. Now no, we don't. The Friday game was still always going to be the toughest game, and the game where, yes, there's a little pressure to maybe try to go get a result. I think that, but if you weren't trying to get a result from this game in the first place, what were you doing?
Mm-hmm.
So yes, to your point, if we don't take our chances, especially off of set pieces, that's going to be a problem. If we don't defend set pieces better, that's going to be a problem. You're absolutely right. But these things were true before yesterday. So this game, the game state doesn't change. And honestly, a draw against Wales was always the most likely result, y'all.
Yeah.
So The game
I also feel like
and
we're really understating Wales' quality. Like
Wales may damn well also tie England or beating. Like they could pull a shocker, or they could also just not score against Iran. The two things could happen. So,
and to Bart's point, we will know. Remember, the Iran-Wales game goes off before United States
Yes.
England does. We'll have a good idea of what needs to happen, because it could end up with a very interesting situation of what are we looking at here? Where does Wales beat Iran? Because here's the thing about yesterday. That was an exhausting game.
Oh, no doubt.
Those guys are going to be gassed. U.S. is going to be gassed for England, and Wales is going to be gassed for Iran. Now, I think Wales will absolutely get up for England for the last game day. They will want to do everything they can to put a knife into England's hamstring. How much energy will they have to do it, though?
Yeah. That's the thing about Friday is I do wonder what Wales's game plan is, because I mean, I'm not joking when I say Wales-Iran could be 0-0. Like it's not a matchup of teams that love to score. It's not a matchup of teams that love to have possession. I do think Iran clearly proved they're not quite up to the level that we expected them to be, but I'm not, I'm very cautious to make any grand statements about anything after the first round of matches, because they went about as much as we could have predicted. Sorry.
I wonder if, considering that we saw Gareth Bale starting against the United States, I wonder if his minutes are curtailed against Iran, so he's ready to start and run a full 90 against England. Just because of what we saw from Iran, or what we didn't see from Iran. Well, maybe if we pay Carlos Queiroz, he'll tell us what he did or didn't see. But no, I wonder if we see a trimmed back or limited version of Gareth Bale in the Iran match, so he's ready for the England match. That's, like I said, I think that's what I'm wondering in this particular case when it comes to Wales here. But Michael Head bringing in the idea of, once again, his concern yesterday when I asked about concerns and confidences, Michael brought in yesterday one of his concerns: can the U.S. score? He raises the concern again.
Valid question.
Valid or no?
It was a question. No, it's 100% the question that we had before the tournament, and it still remains the question. Again, we outplayed Wales significantly in the first half. We had two moments where I think goals could have been scored. One of those resulted in a goal. Michael, I'm going to push back a little bit, because I agree with you. I don't think it's can the U.S. score. I think it's can the U.S. create enough goal scoring opportunities, because that was the issue yesterday. Is you only had 6 shots. Wales had more shots than you did. They had more on target than you did. And even in the second half, Wales did not have as much possession as you did. So it's not about shots or scoring. It's about how many goal scoring opportunities do you create. And we just didn't create enough yesterday, because the Berhalter system continues to prove to not be able to create enough goal scoring opportunities to truly yield success. But I still think that's good enough to get out of the group. That's still my stance.
Because I figure that everyone is going to be beating themselves up against Iran and trying to run up the score, and the goal difference. We're going to have math here. I think math is how we figure out who the 2 is from the teams that try to score as many goals as humanly possible against Iran. That's what I think. It's going to come down to goal difference with Wales and the U.S. versus what happened with Iran, and trying to mitigate your damage against England and try to get out of group. Like I said, that's me. I think math is involved here by the time we're done. My own personal opinion. Update, 20 minutes to go, less than 20 to go, 18 to go. Denmark and Tunisia are goalless. Denmark just had another opportunity cleared off the line by the defense that was started by a Christian Eriksen corner kick. So Tunisia has been hanging. Tunisia has been hanging with Denmark. Bart did not get up early this morning. Jared,
I woke up at 8. That's early for me.
Well, that's right there with you.
I woke up at 7:30. The only reason I woke up is my child came into my room.
Right there with you, brother. None of us got up early this morning to see Saudi Arabia and Argentina. Actually, first, Bart, let me ask you, when do you turn into a real-world pumpkin?
We got about 5 minutes.
Okay, so then we'll start the discussion with Saudi Arabia and Argentina. Whoa, buddy. I mean, this is a Keith Jackson, one of those kind of moments, man. I mean, good on Saudi Arabia for not backing into a corner and packing 13 behind the ball like they're playing CFL football, and you get 2 goals in 5 minutes. One of them was an absolute golazo from the top of the box, and Saudi Arabia gets the Duke, and now everybody's now freaking out about Argentina.
Look, I think, at least from what I saw, the stats of the game and the timeline of the game, it's not like Argentina didn't put the ball in the back of the net. So they had several disallowed goals due to offside, which fair enough, they were offside. But
2, yeah,
those are margins that if things are a foot or an inch the other way, you're looking at Argentina winning.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like credit to Saudi Arabia. It's a fantastic result for them. Huge congrats. They're obviously now in the driver's seat in a group that also includes Mexico, Poland, who may cancel each other out today.
Yeah.
But if you're going to sit here and tell me that Argentina is still not good enough to beat both Mexico and flat out beat Mexico and Poland, I think you're wrong. I mean, chill. It's okay. that's Argentina lost. That was a great result for Saudi Arabia. They still have the opportunity to get out of the group. It's just going to be harder on them now.
Yeah, and I think that's what you're staring at here. Saudi Arabia had a moment. They had a fantastic moment for their national football program, and now once again it's up to Argentina. And Jared, I think it goes back to your original point that we were discussing about Wales in the United States. It's okay to give credit to the team with the lower ranking that won or drew in the Wales U.S. case. It's okay to give credit to the opponent against the team that everyone is paying attention to going into the match. It's okay to give credit.
It is, and it's okay to be. It's okay to play to look at this in a gray term of both things can be true, because you can give credit to Wales, you can give credit to Saudi Arabia, and you can.
Sport is not mutually exclusive.
You can still absolutely feel like the U.S. bit the bit.
Mm-hmm.
That's fine. As far as this goes, yeah, like Argentina scored in the 10th minute. They put the ball in the back of the net 3 more times before halftime, I think, or 3 times before the 50th minute.
Yeah.
One of those offsides is like 3 inches, by the way.
Yes,
it's correct, because again, offside is a black and white rule. There is no I lose my mind every time I see like some talking head on ESPN do or when they do the instant replay on MLS Digital about like, well, if it's that close, no. If you're gonna if you're gonna be eye testing it, that's one thing. If you're gonna bring in semi-automated offside in the World Cup, then it's going to be giving you the black and white answer of yes or no.
Mm-hmm.
That's just the way it works. There's no like, well, if it looks that close, we should give it to him. But the rule is black and white, offside, onside. There is no, well, he made a good run and this, that, or the other reason. Like, take it up with the structure of the rule itself. I know there's been that discussion about changing the rules so that instead of any part being offside, any part of the attacking player being onside. Similar, I guess, John, to the way hockey does offside, where just drag that last skate across the blue line.
Yes.
And stay onside.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. If you've got a problem with the rule, then flip the rule 180 degrees.
Yeah. Take it up. Take it up with the rule. I have issues with more rules than applications half the time with this damn sport.
Mm-hmm.
Argentina put the ball in the back of net 4 times. Only one of them counted. Saudi Arabia played a very risky game. It worked 3 out of 4 times because they got the offside called on disallowed goals. They played a wildly risky game, and they didn't back down, and they didn't get scared, and they got 3 points out of it. And now this group becomes an absolute bloodbath, and I'm very excited for it as a neutral viewer. I know people like Jason, who are self-professed Argentina fans, are going to be in a special level of hell dealing with this. I'm sorry. I hope you're all okay. Mexico fans, you too. It's gonna be interesting because at noon we're going to see blood.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think this puts a lot of pressure on both Mexico and Poland.
No doubt.
And if you get a win, if Mexico or Poland win today, you have to like their chances now.
Oh,
to
absolutely.
win the group, right? Because
100%.
Argentina is going to have an uphill battle. Mm-hmm. You still give Mexico and Poland the odd favorite to beat Saudi Arabia, right? So you're looking at possibly having 6 points. And all you got to have is maybe a result against Argentina, who will be pressing. It does make this group a lot more interesting. But yeah, credit to Saudi Arabia for a great game plan and executing it well and getting, I don't want to say lucky, but things went the way that they needed it to go.
There you go. All right, so Bart, you turned into a real world pumpkin. I was going to say Bart and I are both looking at the action like what?
Sorry, no.
Oh, not soccer related. Okay, it's like, oh my god.
No, not oh my god about Tunisia and Denmark. Oh my god, that Mexico is going to have to, like, depending on what happens today with Poland, they might need the win more than anybody because Mexico is going to have to play a really pissed off Argentina.
Ooh.
And that's not something I would want to do.
Yeah, no.
Argentina is going to be teetotally pissed off, and they're going to want to run Mexico into the ground, resurrect them, and do it again.
We're mad. I'm digging you up. All right, I'm killing you again. Bart, as you well know, you have golden ticket status, so you get the link every morning, and whenever you want to crash, you can crash until your real world overlords have the power over you, where you have to end up going.
I got trade show signage to write today, so
sit there. Here's all you need to do: trade show with an arrow, buy our stuff with an arrow, something incredibly insightful like that. Yeah. Then your mission is over.
Buy our cables. Thank you.
Yes, there you go. Buy our cables. Go ahead and plug everything you need to plug.
Yeah. So hopefully recording a reaction episode for Soccer for Us tonight and releasing that tomorrow. That's the goal there. Hopefully my voice is just slightly more recovered for that. But hey, you know what? That's the fun of the World Cup, right?
Your voice is better than Rob Stone's right now. That's all we
Oh my gosh. Bless his heart. Follow me on Twitter at BartimusPrime19. Follow at SoccerForUS Pod for that. Obviously, if you want to come to a great big old watch party, we'll be at the West End Brewery Compound, whatever you want to call it. We'll be at the Wild Heaven facility, and then there's a party going on, I think, at Monday night as well. But hey, that's the place to be if you're an Atlanta soccer fan on Friday. Your options are, stay around your family, go Black Friday shopping, or come get drunk and watch soccer. So, hey, there are your options. I hope you choose wisely.
And it's the U.S. and England, so you need to really choose your options wisely. Yeah. Well, Bart, enjoy your signage, and obviously, as I've said, you got golden ticket status, so you get the link every morning. You crash when you want to crash. We'll see you next time.
Thanks, Sean. Have a great one, Jarrett.